Welcome to Magical Kingdom, where we explore the enchanting world of magic, fantasy, and adventure. Join us for captivating stories, mystical journeys, and unforgettable experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical videos. Today, we're diving into a mystical tale of love and adventure. Our story is called The Enchanted Hearts. So, sit back, relax, and let the magic unfold. Chapter 8, The First Lesson. The sun rose higher in the sky, casting a warm glow across the enclave as Isla stepped outside, her heart racing with anticipation. Eryx stood waiting for her, his posture relaxed yet alert, as if he were ready to leap into action at any moment. The clearing was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves, a vibrant backdrop for the day's training. "Good morning, Isla," he greeted her with a grin. "Today, we'll begin with the fundamentals. Understanding your magic is the first step to mastering it." Fundamentals. Isla echoed, a mixture of excitement and nervousness fluttering in her stomach. "What does that entail?" "Let's start with the connection between your emotions and your magic," Eryx explained, leading her to a small practice area at the edge of the clearing. "Magic is deeply tied to what you feel. It's a reflection of your inner self." Isla nodded, absorbing his words. "So, if I feel fear, my magic will reflect that." "Exactly," Eryx said, walking around to face her. "And if you feel strong, positive emotions, your magic can be even more powerful. The key is to learn to channel those feelings effectively." Eryx gestured for her to stand in the center of a circle marked in the dirt. "To begin, I want you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Feel the energy within you, and let it rise to the surface." Isla obeyed, inhaling deeply through her nose and exhaling slowly. As she closed her eyes, she felt the cool breeze against her skin, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the warm embrace of the sun above. She focused inward, trying to locate the magic that had awakened within her. "Now, think of something that brings you joy," Eryx instructed softly. "It could be a memory, a person, or even a dream you've had. Let that feeling wash over you." Isla thought of her grandmother's laughter, the way it used to fill their small home with warmth and light. The memory flooded her with a sense of safety and love, and she could feel her heart swell as she pictured her grandmother's kind smile. "Good," Eryx encouraged, his voice a grounding presence. "Now, let that joy ignite your magic. Visualize it as a warm light starting from your heart and spreading outward." Isla concentrated, feeling a tingling sensation radiate from her chest. She imagined the warm light expanding, enveloping her in a cocoon of golden energy. With each breath, the light grew brighter and more vibrant, dancing around her like fireflies in the twilight. "Open your eyes," Eryx said, his tone both excited and serious. Isla complied, her heart pounding. The world around her seemed more alive, colors sharper, and the air buzzing with energy. "I feel it," she whispered, her voice trembling with wonder. "Now, let's harness that energy," Eryx instructed. "Concentrate on the light you've created. Imagine it taking shape. What color is it? What does it feel like?" "Warm," she murmured, picturing the light as a golden hue. "It feels protective, like a shield." "Perfect. Now, extend your hands before you and visualize the light forming into a sphere," Eryx guided, stepping back to give her space. "When you're ready, release it." Isla took a deep breath, channeling her joy into the golden light. She raised her hands, focusing on the sensation of warmth pooling in her palms. With all her intention, she pushed the light forward, envisioning it coalescing into a glowing sphere. "Here goes nothing," she thought, her heart racing. The sphere of light shot from her hands, illuminating the clearing with a brilliant flash. It hovered momentarily before dissipating into sparkles that danced in the air like tiny stars. Eryx's eyes widened, and a broad smile spread across his face. "That was incredible, Isla. You channeled your magic beautifully." Isla beamed with pride, feeling a surge of exhilaration wash over her. "I did it. I can't believe I actually did it." "But remember, with great power comes great responsibility," Eryx cautioned, his expression turning serious. "You must learn to control your emotions as well. Not all feelings are positive, and if you let anger or fear take hold, your magic could become dangerous." Isla nodded, the weight of his words settling in. How do I control it? Practice, Eryx replied, his tone firm yet encouraging. You'll need to confront your fears and insecurities, understand them, and learn not to let them overwhelm you. We'll work on that together. As they continued their training, Eryx introduced her to various techniques. They practiced channeling different emotions, exploring how joy, fear, and even sorrow could shape her magic. Each session pushed her to her limits, forcing her to confront parts of herself she had long avoided. Hours flew by as they trained under the bright sun, the clearing alive with the energy of her growing powers. Isla learned to visualize different spells and discovered how to tap into the earth's energy, drawing strength from the world around her. As they wrapped up the training session, Eryx glanced at her, his expression thoughtful. You're making remarkable progress, Isla. I believe you're ready for something more advanced. More advanced, she echoed, a mix of excitement and trepidation fluttering in her stomach. What do you have in mind? Eryx looked serious. The next step involves learning to manipulate your magic for defense. The shadows may come for you, and you need to be prepared. Isla's heart raced. You mean, like a shield or something? Exactly. It's about creating barriers that can protect you and those you care about, he explained. Let's give it a try. They moved to a more open area where Eryx demonstrated how to form a protective barrier. He focused, his hands outstretched, and a translucent shield shimmered into existence around him, refracting the sunlight like a prism. Now, you try, he encouraged, stepping back to give her room. Isla took a deep breath, channeling her focus into the warmth inside her. She envisioned the barrier, picturing it as a protective dome around her. I can do this, she whispered, determined to succeed. Concentrating, she extended her hands and felt the energy pooling again. I am protected, she said aloud, allowing the magic to surge forth. A faint glow formed around her, flickering uncertainly at first but then solidifying into a shimmering barrier. It's working. Eryx exclaimed, his eyes wide with pride. Keep it steady. Isla focused harder, her heart pounding as the shield pulsated with energy. She could feel it protecting her, but the effort was draining. She strained to maintain the barrier, sweat beading on her forehead. Breathe, Isla. Keep your intention clear, Eryx guided, stepping closer. Remember, the magic flows from you. You control it. With each breath, Isla centered herself, envisioning the shield as a living thing, breathing alongside her. Gradually, the flickering dimmed, and the barrier stabilized, glowing brightly around her. You did it. Eryx said, his voice filled with awe. The glow of the shield enveloped her, and Isla felt a rush of triumph wash over her. I can feel it. It's amazing. But just as her joy surged, a sudden chill swept through the clearing, the air thickening as shadows lengthened unnaturally. Isla's heart dropped as the atmosphere shifted, and the brightness of the day dulled, a foreboding presence settling over them. Stay alert, Eryx said, his demeanor shifting to one of caution. We might not be alone. Isla's heart raced as she looked around, her instincts flaring. The woods seemed to darken, and the air crackled with tension. What is happening? Something is coming, Eryx replied, his eyes scanning the tree line. We need to be ready. As if on cue, dark tendrils snaked through the trees, creeping toward them with a malevolent intent. The shadows twisted, forming shapes that writhed and shifted, their forms indistinct yet threatening. Prepare your shield. Eryx commanded, his sword drawn. Focus, Isla. Remember what you learned. Isla's heart thundered in her chest as she conjured the shield once more, the glow flickering to life around her. She could feel the shadows pushing against it, their coldness biting at her resolve. Hold strong. Eryx shouted, stepping forward to confront the encroaching darkness. Together, we will push them back. With a deep breath, Isla anchored herself, channeling all her determination into the barrier. She refused to let the shadows overtake them, they had come too far to let fear win now. As the tendrils lunged toward them, Isla focused her magic, reinforcing the shield with every ounce of strength she possessed. The shadows struck like lightning, colliding with her barrier, sending a shockwave of energy rippling through the air. But she wouldn't back down. Drawing on her joy and strength, she pushed against the darkness, feeling the light within her flaring brighter, the shield shimmering defiantly against the malevolence that sought to engulf them. Now. Eryx shouted, and together, they launched a counterattack, their combined magic pushing back against the shadows. With a burst of energy, Isla sent forth a wave of light, illuminating the clearing and casting the darkness away. The shadows recoiled, hissing as they dissolved into nothingness, leaving only silence in their wake. Panting and shaken, Isla lowered her hands, her heart still racing. What just happened? Eryx sheathed his sword, his expression a mixture of pride and concern. That was a warning. The Shadow King is aware of your presence, and he will not stop until he has you. Isla swallowed hard, the reality of their situation settling over her like a heavy cloak. What do we do now? Eryx stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We prepare. We train harder. And we find a way to defeat him, together. As they stood in the clearing, the weight of their new reality pressed upon them. But Isla felt a flicker of determination igniting within her. She had faced the shadows and stood her ground. With Eryx by her side, she was ready to embrace the challenges ahead. Together, they would forge their path through the darkness, armed with magic, strength, and the unwavering bond that had begun to form between them.